was like mind-blowing, massive growth. And then 2016 wasn't so much like that. In fact, it was a real wake-up call for us. And so, in Pittsburgh and where was I? Then Charlotte. Like the events compared to other events, the events were, maybe a little smaller than we had seen over the last couple of years. And it's like, now wait a minute, as the CEO, part of my thing is up here and celebrate us and look at all the great stuff we're doing and you and awesome and bigger and it's fantastic and momentum. And I can't get up here and dance around and stand in front of you and take a victory lap. And look at how amazingly fast, look at the momentum that we've got as a company. Because frankly, 2016, while we grew, I think we grew, say 11%, which is still good by corporate standards, but by the standards that we measure since 2013, was kind of a slow growth year. And I think a lot of coaches experienced some of that contraction with volume declining based on the momentum that they had before. We have fewer elite coaches this year in 2016, even with the multiplier that we had at the end of the year. So I sort of stand up here and I go, I hope they don't shoot things at me. Because it's part of my job to keep the momentum going and to sort of represent what we're doing right and what we can do to do things better. And so now I need to look at it, and I look back at 2016 and I go, gosh, what were my expectations and what did we learn? And I think it was about midway through the year that we learned that we had made a bit of an error in judgment. Now let's look at the background of Team Beachbody. So, Beachbody had really great, we were over $100 million, maybe 150, closer to $200 million a year direct marketing company. It was doing really well. And I looked at my partner across the table, John, one day we were having lunch, and I said, this is going really well. We're selling a lot of product, but there's a couple of problems with it. On one hand, we know that not everybody is doing the programs. Like, not everybody is, they buy P90X, they see it on TV, and then it slides conveniently under the bed, where to never be seen again until a garage sale. Or they'll buy it and they'll take it out one time, they'll put it in the DVD player, and they're like, well, that was just as hard as I saw in the infomercial. I'm going to slide that conveniently under the bed. And somebody else, like they'll get their $120 worth out of it. They'll take that DVDs out and they'll do it for 90 days and shredded and photos and awesome, and they're super fit. And then they put the DVDs under the bed and they go immediately back to the old lifestyle, and the weight comes back on. And people are like, weren't you in great shape like 6 months ago? I'm like, yeah, that was awesome. I remember that. And so I was sitting there talking to John, and I said, there's something wrong with this business model. And I said, also, the infomercial model, direct marketing model, there's a guy in the back with no shirt on. People know this, right? Everybody knows that, right? Okay. There's two of them, actually. Okay. Three of you? All right, let's just do this. Not happening. Not till after I'm done hammer. Starts Monday. Okay, so where was it? So we realized that the direct marketing business is something that is very difficult to export, right? The infomercial business is really big here in the U.S., not a little bit in the U.K., a little bit in Germany, a little bit in Japan, but other than that, it's not a really good business to export. Like, this is going to be difficult because we have a really great product, a really great business model that people slide under the bed, but we'd like to be able to expand multinationally. So in discussing that, we thought network marketing would be a very interesting thing to investigate, because we saw so many of our customers share, like once they got good results, the ones that got the great results with P90X and other programs, they would be the ones that would like post their pictures everywhere. They were in our message boards, and you couldn't shut them up about it. They'd walk into a room, and they'd be the most popular people, and like they'd have people all around them. There could be a celebrity in the room, and they'd have people around them going, "How'd you do it?" And so, like these people, their hard work for 90 days was creating demand for our programs, and John and I were like, well, they deserve, if they're going to create all that kind of demand, then we need to find a way to inspire them, to motivate them to keep the weight off, or to motivate them to want to tell people about it. So network marketing was one of those ideas. And the other thing was, we thought, no, wait a minute. John and I got really good results with Power 90 first and then P90X. And how, why was it? Why were we motivated? Because I'm not a fitness guy. I am a businessman, an entrepreneur. That's what I like to do. I wake up thinking about what I can create and how I can market it. So I'm not about fitness, and clearly I'm not about eating well. That's not my thing. So I just no interest in it. So, but it'd be good if I found an interest in it. So we thought, why did we finish Power 90 with such great results and then P90X? And it was because we were entrepreneurs, we were businessmen, we were excited about using our results to help us market the program. So if that worked for us, maybe there's a million other people who aren't necessarily fitness people or aren't nutrition people, but would be inspired to get results, to pull that P90X out from under the bed and do it, if there was a way that they could earn some money, or that their results, that their hard work could possibly give them some other reward. And in fact, when I look at, when we made that decision to become a network marketing business, I didn't know really how important, what a tenet of what we do that would be. Because what we found in 2016 was what started with this baseline of 2 reasons to become a coach that we committed to. One being that idea of, if you want to get results, you want to have the motivation to put the whole 90 days together and have the discipline to finish the nutrition plan and the fitness plan, that surrounding yourself with like-minded people and having the prospect of basically paying for your product, because you have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 other people doing it, you make a commission on that might be a really great reason to become a distributor or a coach in the network. And the other reason to be that once you get those results and you have such a deep and passionate belief in the products and the program, that then you would keep the weight off, because now you're making some cash flow and you actually like this idea of being a more substantial, almost a career coach. So you're bringing people in, you're starting new groups, and so there's these 2 reasons. One is you do it for yourself because that's the thing that's going to motivate you, because you don't have a natural motivation. We can't all be Julie Voris that loves to work out and jump around. Right? Okay, I know she loves it, and I wish I had that gene, but man, I could sleep. No problem. I would, no pizza. I'll be honest with you, yesterday, so I got done in, Charlotte. So I got done in Charlotte, and I'm like, I'm starving. It was like 2 o'clock, and the limo driver was like, well, why don't you have one of your shakes? And I said, what do you know about the shake? He's like, I did my research. I need to know who's sitting in the back of my truck. And literally, that's what he said. And I was like, well, I already had that, and I realized it's a one-a-day thing for me. 2 days, it's just not enough. I need real food. So I was like, all right, just stop here. So I got a pizza, okay? And like, this is the curse. I want you to feel sorry for me for a second. So I have my pizza, and I go, and to hit all these towns, I have to charter a plane, right? The only way I could do it in a timely way. So the pilot's waiting in the little lobby for me, and I go and I got my pizza, and he looks at me and is like, Carl. I'm like, what? It's a pizza. Why can't I have a pizza in my plane? What's wrong? He's like, setting a terrible example. Okay, but I can have my pizza, but I know that, like last night, I had a salad. I even posted a picture of it. So, I'm very proud. I had a salad. Left a little bit of my teeth. That just happened. But it's the motivation of being surrounded by like-minded people. That is number one. That's a number one reason to be a coach. And the second one is, once you build that belief, that then you can start to bring other people in. And I'm just I'm sort of coach number 1, as it were, or coach number 0, because this is what I do. I am proof the product works. I need to continue to be. It doesn't mean I need to be a hard body all the time, but if we're going to do it Beachbody Health Bet, I'm going to have to participate in the Beachbody Health Bet. I'm going to do Hammer starting Monday, and I'm going to hopefully invite people. I invite people in a number of ways. One is by talking to you and encouraging you to invite people, or I talk to people. I talk to my limo driver, or I work on Facebook, I work on Instagram, or I happen to create infomercials, and that works for me because of the corporate side of things, but like we're sort of in parallel the same way. Well, what we learned in 2016 was that because of the success of 2014 and 2015, we learned something really important about ourselves. And that is, when you start to have success, when the company achieved over $1 billion in sales, all of a sudden the story started to shift. It wasn't like overnight, so it snuck up on us. But we started to see people posting, and we even started to celebrate people, their second car, they paid off their mortgage, we're shredding mortgages on stage, we've got the Millionaire Club, people are buying second homes, they're paying off credit card debt, they're putting kids through school, which is, by the way, great. All great stuff. But what happened was we started to attract people who were like, I want to make some money. I'll worry about that P90X under the bed, or I'll worry about getting in shape and eating well after I make some money, because I need to pay off the bills and I want a second car or whatever it is, or I want to get my husband or wife to work from home, I want to spend more time with the family. Like, there's all these great reasons, totally makes sense. But what happens is we brought all these people in who were like, they worked with us for a month and they had this expensive shake they didn't understand. It's a bag of powder, big deal. Okay, I'll have some of it. I can't find the scoop, but I'll just measure it out with spoons because I'm not reaching into that thing. Wait. Breaking the story. Don't let me forget, where was I? So I was at the financial store, but I need to give you guys a tip. I promised Charlotte they'd be the only ones to know. Don't tell them, but you will be the second one to know. Who wants a tip on how to solve the scoop problem? Okay, here's the thing. The only month you should ever have a problem getting the scoop out of the bag is month 1. Because when you're done with that bag, do not throw the scoop away. Okay? Be like the bank. You know how the bank puts a little chain on the pen so it doesn't go away? Put a little chain on your scoop. So that when you open up the new bag, you're like, I know you're in there, scooper, but I'm not coming in because I am one of your friends here. Just use that scoop until you find the other one. See? Problem solved. You're welcome. Good tip. Okay, so what we found was we had these people coming in who were like, I want to make money fast, but they would finish a month of Shakeology even if they even drank it, but they didn't come in with the motivation of, number 1, help themselves overcome this lack of activity or bad nutrition and feeding themselves well with Shakeology. They didn't have a deep belief in it. So when they didn't make $1 million, or they didn't make $5,000 or even $200 the first month, they were like, screw this, I'm out of here. This isn't making any sense for me. Which is why most network marketing companies, what they do is they cycle. They basically have to replace. It's called an attrition business model, where every year you have to replace the entire most of the distribution chain, most of the network, because people cycle out because they don't make money, because that's why they're in it, to make money, which is okay. And if that is what your goal is, if that's the primary driver for you to make fast money, you got to find something that's much easier to sell, because we sell something really hard. But here's the good news. The good news is, because we sell something really hard, because we sell something that solves a problem that has not been solved for decades, and that is obesity and lifestyle, what they call lifestyle diseases like type 2 diabetes and hypertension and high blood pressure. These problems have not been solved with government or insurance or corporate institutionalized solutions, right? So corporate incentives or insurance incentives. It's got to come from you, right? It's not going to come from the outside in. That's what we are doing. We are making the solution available to people with this incredible incentive of their ability to then monetize their success for their own benefit. Or at a minimum, if they bring a couple people in, because this problem is so big, they can have their product paid for effectively. So like this month and February, you sell 2 challenge packs of the Beachbody On Demand Annual All Access Difficult to Say Challenge Pack. And that's $140 and you covered your Shakeology, right? Just sell 2 and you make Success Club, because you get 6 Success Club points, so it works pretty good. So, can I just get a little water? Is that mine? Is this sparkling? I don't like sparkling water. Okay. Did you? I love, it's fairy water. Okay, hold on.
It's fairy water.
Somebody remember, rewind, where was I?
Okay, so there's 4 reasons that we have the opportunity, 4 key elements that we have the opportunity to change, to be the ones that solve this $1 trillion, say with me, $1 trillion problem. $1 trillion problem gets solved, somebody's going to make multiples of billions of dollars. And that company is going to be Team Beachbody, because we're going to all split it together, but we got to do it the right way. And the reason that we are the ones that have this opportunity is because it's hard. Because we put these 4 things together that no other company has put all 4 things together. Here they are. Convenient access to fitness. There are many studies showing that people who lose weight and keep it off are the people who have fitness close to them. Right? So it could, nothing wrong with gyms, nothing wrong with personal trainers, but when it is inconvenient or inefficient or expensive, having somebody count your push-ups is a very expensive price. That's okay, there's $100 or $50 or whatever a personal trainer can cost. That can be expensive. Might be a good thing to have once a week or a couple times a month to keep you tuned up, or you go to the gym because you want the social experience to keep you tuned up. That's great. But for long-term results, it needs to be convenient. It's called propinquity, and the closer it is to you, the more likely it is that you will do it. That's Beachbody on demand. That's having the DVDs under the bed. That's access to it so that you can do it without having other obstacles in the way, like driving and parking and lockers and all that kind of stuff. That's number 1. Number 2 is nutrition. And particularly breakfast. Why is Shakeology so important and valuable and powerful for breakfast? Because once people kickstart their metabolism, kickstart the absorption of nutrition in the morning, they're less hungry, less likely to binge on junk food or crave sugar throughout the day. And we're going to prove that clinically, but we've already seen that in our own experience, so I'm going to go ahead and say it. And please delete that from your phones. But it works for me. I'll just say that. It works for me. And so, about 10 o'clock a.m., 10 a.m., I'll have my shake every day. What time is it now? It's past that. I'm past my shake time. Naked men. Just kidding. No. I'll just make my own shake later. It makes me feel uncomfortable. So that's 2. So 1 is fitness, 2 is nutrition, 3 is like the most powerful thing that you guys take for granted all the time, and that is peer support and accountability. And it's funny because when we first launched Beachbody on Demand, the rumor was, and people started to, some people can go negative and have paranoia. There was this concern that Beachbody was looking to replace the network with technology. Here comes technology, going to take another opportunity away from us. When it was the exact opposite. What we wanted to do was create a product that made it so that coaches had an easier and a more compelling product to sell, and wouldn't have to just sell whatever the special of the month was or whatever the new product was. What we want you to do is help people get results with the product that's right for them. And that's what Beachbody On Demand affords for us. And because that 3rd thing, peer support and accountability and challenge groups and the My Challenge Tracker app, that is like one of these key fundamentals that very difficult for a gym or impossible, I think, for any technology. I mean, you can ignore a text. Get a text or an email, some auto-generated thing. Time to do your workout. We even have it with the CDJ, right? You get the morning thing. It's like, the workout today is plyometrics and 21-day fix extreme. Delete. That was easy to delete. But, if Julie calls me up and she's like, I don't see that you're really doing your workouts. And I'm like, well, how dare you challenge me, Julie? All right, I'm not doing my workouts. I'll do them now. So you can't ignore a human being. Human beings are powerful people. Relationships are powerful things. So if you got fitness and you got your nutrition under control, and then you've got a human being that will call you at least twice a month some form of contact, doesn't have to be a phone call, but some form of direct contact twice a month is proven to help people lose weight over the course of an 18-month study. They lost weight. If they lost 20 pounds, they were like 72% more likely to keep the weight off for another 2 years. That's just by human intervention. We've got that with you. We got 400,000 of you helping people stay accountable. And then the fourth thing is having a short-term or a near-term goal to help you toward a long-term mission. Okay, so that's where we beat other companies or other prospects, because hey, if you get a spinning bike or you decide that you're going to be a runner, well, you've got to package that into a 3-week or a 30-day or a 60-day or some sort of 90-day program, so that you can just bite that off, so you have some milestone that you hit that you're like, this is what I'm doing. And it doesn't mean that you need to stay at that same intensity for an entire year. But if you start the program with, I got to lose 150 pounds, and you don't have any sort of measurement or reward during the way, it's going to be very difficult for you to, you might lose 75 pounds, and it's so hard, and then life happens, you're like, you know what, 75 pounds was good. I don't need to go the whole 150. In fact, we see that even with P90X and Insanity programs. People would start it, they'd do the first 30 days, and they'd be like, I lost 20 pounds. That's amazing. I'm good with 20. Slides easily under the bed. So these are the 4 things: fitness, nutrition, peer support and accountability, and a plan with near-term goals. Okay, we put those 4 things together. That's what the Beachbody Health Bed does. That's what programs that are 90 days or 60 days or 50 days or 30 days or 21 days or 3 days. That's what those do for us. They break it off into little pieces. And now with the advent of Beachbody On Demand, you don't have people who, they can get that near-term results, but that is not the product. That is not the program. That is a phase of the program. I get shivers when I talk about this, literally, because like for years, we're a 17, almost 18-year-old company, and I think about it, oh my God, how did we miss it for almost 2 decades that we've been selling the pieces, but then people, like our walls at the office, we have entire hallways that are before and after shots, and I'm super proud of all these transformations that we have represented around the office, and I'm scared to death to run into those people now and see where they've gone since. Because we didn't have the network back then, back in the early days. But now we have Beachbody On Demand, annual all access. And now people can come in, they can do 21 days, they can do 30 days, they can do 60, whatever it's going to be for them, and then they can go in maintenance mode, they can do 2 workouts a week, 3 workouts a week. My goal for this year is to do at least 3 workouts a week for the entire year. I'll do phases of programs, maybe 3 or 4 programs throughout the year, but otherwise I'm going to maintain with at least 3 workouts a week, and absolutely 7 shakes a week. That's the easy part. So we have this thing built, and for the first time have the ability to really influence people. So as I went to Pittsburgh and as I go to Charlotte and I see that the room shrank in terms of attendance, and I look at the numbers and I see that we've got fewer elite. Here's what I know. What I know is that we learned who we are in 2016. We learned that we are not, and I'm not saying anything bad about other network marketing companies, I'm just saying we are not one of those network marketing companies with a promise of fast money for just selling something. We are a company that is helping people achieve their goals to lead healthy, fulfilling lives. If you're in this room and you have a goal to earn a second income without a second job per se, something you can do at home, and you want it to last and be substantial, you need to check whether you are aligned with that. If you are aligned with helping people achieve their goals to lead healthy, fulfilling lives, then we are already in harmony, and you won't find yourself misaligned with what we're doing. Because otherwise, if you're like, well, I just want to make money, bitch. Like if that's what you're about, sorry, baby, earmuffs. If that's what you're about, then you're going to find we're going to make decisions at the company, which we do all the time, which are in the best interest of the customer, but not necessarily in the best interest of our income. Although, at the end of the day, what's in the best interest of the customer will always be in the best interest of our income. It just might might mean some short-term adjustments in that, right? I mean, somebody asked me yesterday about customer service and coach relations, and for 17 years it's always been the thing that has been too many yards behind the evolution of the business, like that being world class in an environment where you've got the American Expresses and the Amazons, public companies that have access to capital, can make huge strides in technology and service faster than what is kind of still a little company. Beachbody, even though it's over $1 billion, is still a little company the way it operates. There's only so many products that we can develop a year out of cash flow. There's only so many technology products or projects that we can initiate and complete in a year. It's really expensive, and it's difficult to get it right, and we're still adding the management, adding the people to do it. So I'm like, gosh, but we have to do this, but that is going to totally whack our profitability for the year, but we got to get it fixed. So when that happens, when we make this decision to make sure that what are we going to do, and at the same time we look at what's the biggest complaint with Beachbody On Demand, it is that people don't have access to what we call the premium programs, PIO, Country Heat, Core to Force, 21-Day Fix, 22-Minute Hardcore. They're like, well, I want to be a part of this Beachbody On Demand thing. I like the idea of the Netflix of fitness, but give me the good stuff. So we're like, okay, well, let's do that, but that's going to cost us some sales of those programs, but it'll be a better product for the customer. So it's going to be a better experience for the customer. So let's do that. And then when all these literally tens and tens of thousands of people in a week tell us they want to upgrade from the quarterly membership that they have up to the $99, it saves them around $60 a year, plus they get $400 worth of programming. That just hits customer service like an asteroid. But I'm going to move all the resources over there. Why? And it means that hold times are going to go up. I mean, our hold times went from, they were 45 seconds before the 27th, and our customer service hold times they got as bad as 40 minutes. But yesterday it was 5 minutes. I tracked this stuff, so it's still it's no good. But you gotta fix that. But at the same time, you're expecting to make the commissions as soon as possible on those tens of thousands of people who are upgrading. So we got to get that handled so that you make the commissions, so that you're not waiting. So all this stuff is the stuff we got to balance. But at the end of the day, what I check myself against, which is why it's important that we're aligned, is that I check myself against help people achieve their goals so they can lead healthy, fulfilling lives. And then I work through these obstacles. What I know is something that has been this long in the evolution of the trend of obesity and the evolution of unhealthy lifestyle, or really the competition for our time of working harder, make more money. That exhausts you, so you want to take some time off, you want some gratification, so you watch a movie or you play a video game, or you want to comfort yourself with pizza on the plane or nachos or whatever it is, and so there's all this stuff available to us. That's who we're competing with. We're not really competing with other companies. We're competing with lifestyle choices. If we want to help people out of that, we've got to be aligned with helping people achieve their goals to lead healthy, fulfilling lives, and sometimes that's going to mean that it's going to be slower than we would like it to be. It's going to be harder than we would like it to be, which means that any contraction that we went through in 2016 was really healthy, really good for us. Because now I can say the elite coaches that we've got now in 2016, by and large, are our coaches who are our leaders, who are going to help us build teams of people who have a belief in the products. This is the vital process that we talk about. And part of the vital behaviors. Be the proof the product works. I don't want people who have complete disconnection with the mission to be representing my product. I don't want it. Because what I want coaching to be a career. The last thing you want is a lawyer who never really wanted to be in law, doesn't really like law, but you can make some good money, so he went ahead and went to law school. Or the last thing you want is a neurosurgeon. The guy's just like, I heard you can make really good money with brain surgery. So, don't like it that much, but anyway, take a deep breath. No, you want somebody who's like, I love brain surgery. I want 1 million coaches who are like, I love helping people achieve their goals to lead healthy, fulfilling lives. That's who I want. And with those people, with that gang helping me build this thing, we literally should be multi-billions of dollars a year. And remember, we split that money 50-50. So what we're doing together, what we're building right now is a new career for people. Like, it's weird to think about, but one time there wasn't a career called dentist, at one time there wasn't a career called FedEx delivery guy, didn't even exist, and then it became a career. We are creating a career called coach. And visualize this with me if you could. Okay, so we look at Beachbody On Demand as being, hey, that's neat, that's kind of like that Hulu thing or that Netflix thing. And those are big companies. Hulu has 10 million members. I think Netflix is something, I want to say like 80 million or something in North America. Big companies. So, okay, I get that, we can visualize that. Here we are, we have about 680,000 members. But here's the way I see it. What I see is Beachbody On Demand should be a button on a TV or on the laptop of every home in North America. Every one. It should be rare that you find somebody who doesn't have it. Just like, this thing, smartphone. Like, I can remember watching Steve Jobs pitch it at the Apple keynote, right? And he's like, it's a iPad, or it's an what is it? iPod? It's an iPod, it's a phone, and it's a web browser. And he kept repeating it, and then people were like, that's awesome. And I remember saying that, like, oh, that's neat, but it doesn't have a keyboard like my BlackBerry. I don't think I'll ever get one of those. And now it's like, can I buy another one this year? Like, it's like, it's not if you're gonna own it, it's when you're gonna own it. Or some, it doesn't have to be iPhone, it could be Samsung, but this thing now with all the apps and everything, it's like we take it for granted. We take it for granted that there's electricity in this room that they pay for, and that turn the lights on. We take it for granted because of course you want electricity. But there was a time when, like, who's the one with electricity? Or who's the family that have a TV in their house? Or who's the family that has a cable, right? Or who's got the fast internet? Because I'm still on dial-up. I'm gonna go over that guy. And now we all have super fast internet, and if the Wi-Fi's down, you get angry. We take it for granted. I'm telling you right now, visualize this with me, because you are the ones with the keys to this wealth in your hands, that we can get Beachbody On Demand and our ecosystem of fitness, nutrition, peer support, and near-term rewards with a long-term mission into every home, every program for everybody. We can be that service, like a utility. Like, it's second nature. Like, what are you talking about? You don't have Beachbody On Demand. What are you doing? Well, I still go to the gym. Oh, that's right. You own the gym. Okay, that makes sense for you. But for the rest of us, we're going to have that. And it's going to be as natural as pulling out the remote. And this is what I do in the morning, whether it's 10 minutes or 15 minutes or an hour or a half hour. It's that thing you do, because we're not going to be saved by insurance for the rest of our lives. Insurance is great to help us there. If you have an acute issue, you need to solve something, health insurance is important. But it is not health. It's just the insurance for when things go bad and you need some help. So we got to take care of ourselves. We, the people at Super Saturdays, Super Fridays, and Super Sundays around the country, we are the ones with the solution. Only us. The doctors help solve the things that go wrong. And they can lead us, and the education, nutrition education can help us make better choices. But the behavior change is not going to happen unless there's people who with influence, who are a catalyst to that change. Do you understand how powerful your opportunity is right now? Amen. Do you get it? It's unbelievable the power that you've got. We're sitting in here, it's silly. You got glitter on the tables. We're coaches, there's balloons, there's naked people. You were thinking, what is this? Like, you could walk in here. If aliens came down and took a snapshot, they'd be like, what sort of party was that? Because that was definitely not some important thing that's about to change the world. Everybody's got a plastic cup and glitter, and there's naked people. Whatever, good for you. We're going to go to a football game. No, you guys have the power to change lives, save lives, enhance the lives, the existence. Like, you get this life and you have a choice. Am I going to go out and do stuff? Am I going to dance? Am I going to ski? Am I going to sing? Am I going to write? Am I going to enjoy and engage in life? Or am I going to suffer through it because I can't break my own habits that are just locking me to this couch and making me a slave to this sugar and this fat and these food choices because it's the only form of gratification that I get, right? That's the mentality out there. The only way that breaks is because superheroes enter your life and ask you questions. Invite, invite, invite is a terrible vital behavior as far as title goes. It's an outrageously important vital behavior in terms of action goes. And what that action is ask questions. Ask questions. Whoever in here is the best at asking questions the longest will win. You will be elite. So when you talk to people and you go and you find a way, that difficult thing of starting a conversation, and you'll see in the video, I think her name is Jen. There's Jen and then there's Jamie toward the end of the video. You haven't watched that yet, right? Okay. So you'll see Jen, pay attention, write notes, maybe even record her because she's like, she gets it. And Jamie, he gets it. So what you're going to realize is as you ask questions, what you're not doing is selling the Beachbody On-Demand Annual All-Access Challenge Pack. What you're doing is you're finding out why somebody has failed. What about their life is bothering them, and what is it about what you represent that could help them enhance their lives? Imagine that for a second. Think about that and take that in for a second. What is it about what you represent that could enhance this person's life? I got shivers again just saying that. Dedicating yourself to loving a person that much, to be able to say, wait a second, I don't want to just sell you something, I want to enhance your life, is going to be so fulfilling that you will never be able to quit it. You'll see people leaving to go sell wine or soap or jewelry and because they need to make the money. And you're going to go, I could never leave this because of that feeling that I get when somebody's life gets enhanced. That's what we get to do. But you applauded too soon, because there is a but. And it's not just the naked guys in the back. The but is, you're going to do something like this. I promise you, it is going to be hard. I promise you, you got to sit here right now and literally imagine, or as you drive home, go, what am I going to do when I hit a wall with this thing? And it feels like I've got no traction. When it feels like I've got no joy in this business, what am I going to do? Because I promise you, it is going to happen. And then you're going to have to go, am I prepared to work through that? That's why we say personal development. That's why you read these books, because you get hints from them. I'm reading a book called Obstacles, or The Obstacle is the Way, or something like that. It's on my Instagram. Amazing book. Just the introduction alone, I'll read that 5-6 times a year. It's so good. Just to embrace obstacles. So you need to think about, what am I going to do when I hit that wall? Because it's going to happen. You're going to have tough patches. But remember, we're trying to help people achieve their goals to lead healthy, fulfilling lives. You guys are heroes. You have the ability to have this incredibly meaningful existence that also creates incredible earnings potential, incredible wealth for you. But you have to, in the back of your mind, have, in emergency, break glass and pull out this strategy that is, I'm going to work through this, not run away from this. That's how we solve the problem. This is how I operate. I didn't look at 2016 and think, God, how can I get out of this? Maybe I should sell something easier. I looked at it and I said, and I talked to my digital team, I said, we need to come up with something that is a no-brainer for the customer, that when they look at this package, they go, that is the best value in fitness I've ever seen. That is worth me buying so that I can change my behavior, because I'd like to live a more healthy, fulfilling life. So I'm going to buy that Beachbody On Demand thing. That was the first challenge. And the other challenge I gave him was, it needs to be so compelling and so rewarding for the coach that it is the easiest thing for them to sell, and that they get paid when they sell it. And that's why it's $70 plus a Success Club, an extra Success Club point. Is it 2 or 3 you get? You get 3. What? Am I crazy? That's how exciting this is. So you keep this in mind. Know that it's going to be challenging. Let's be aligned with the mission of helping people achieve their goals to lead healthy, fulfilling lives. And know that you are a part of something that is incredibly special. You belong to this. You didn't just sign up with a challenge pack. You didn't just come here to clap and you're going to do a great workout. But this is a really big deal. The fact that you are here on a Sunday. Imagine, like, this is kind of like founding fathers kind of stuff. This is like revolutionary kind of stuff, because this problem of people riding the scooters around Disneyland because they can't walk, this problem is not going to go away unless people like us commit to this thing and see it through, even though it's not going to be easy. But we can do that. Look at these faces. You people are beautiful. And we can make this happen together. And for some reason, women do very well at it. They create communities, but guys are getting into it too. Like, this is going to happen. And with this new challenge pack configuration, we'll see what happens after February. If the price has to go up, we have to look at what the profitability is. We just made the commitment for these 2 months, so I'd suggest you get on it. If you get out there and get people in it, because the price might go up in March. So, like, with all these tools and all this mission orientation, like, it just blows my mind. Like, I have a hard time going to sleep, and I wake up like a snap, because it's just too exciting and too important. So here we are, the beginning of 2017. 2016 was a wake-up year. 2017 is not going to be a cakewalk. This is going to be a year of attack. This is a year that we have to just suck it up and work harder. And the harder we work, the more people we reach. The more people we reach, the more people will get results. The more people get results, the more we will radiate power and the ability for other people to be attracted to us. That's what we do. That's Team Beachbody, and I'm humbled and grateful to be a part of this with you. I'm your servant CEO. Anything I can and will do to make this better, I promise you I put my heart and soul into it, as long as you do the same. Thank you for having me here. Thank
you very much, Carl Daikler. That was awesome, wasn't it, guys? You know, I want to say a speech like that is pure gold with an asterisk. A lot of times we get really inspired, and then it kind of dies down a little bit later. Make sure that you really take those points and really put it into action, because that was awesome. That was really, we really are on a mission to help people get healthy, not just today and tomorrow, but a lifestyle change. So that was absolutely amazing. And for some of you guys that are brand new, you guys can see this is about a culture. It's about being part of a tribe, about being part of something that's just bigger than you, just bigger than the scale. And I really believe anybody has the ability to be a successful coach, because we all have a responsibility, not just to ourselves, but to our families and the communities, to teach them that anybody can be healthy. And I really believe that this talk was just more proof in the pudding that we are on just the cusp of something great.
Putting the vein from Shakeology.
With Shakeology, the daily dose of dense nutrition. And the two guys in the back. We're awesome. All right.
I'm good, thank you.
And we have a wonderful gift of appreciation
Thank you.
from all of us.
Should I open it here or what? Okay, good.
Open it while you eat your pizza. And we are now going to do photos with the VIP tables. And I'm going to walk around with Erica and Carl. And we're going to take pictures. Cool? Brooke, you want to take a picture?